English changed my life. It opened doors, helped me make new friends, and inspired me to dream bigger. Welcome, everyone, to English Podcast Edge.
Great to be here.
Yeah.
That opening line really hits home, doesn't it?
It really does. And today we're diving deep into something tied directly to the art, sometimes the challenge, of actually speaking English.
Yeah, it's often the part learners find most daunting, putting all the grammar and vocabulary into, well, actual conversation.
Exactly. So we've looked into this, gathering insights, even drawing from experiences like the one we just heard. We're going to explore some really practical ways to, start conversations, keep them flowing.
Find some useful phrases, maybe.
Definitely. And tackle those common speaking hurdles that trip people up.
And for you listening, especially if you want to get up to speed quickly but thoroughly, this deep dive should give you solid strategies.
Yeah, things you can actually use to boost your confidence in English chats without feeling, totally overwhelmed.
It's fascinating, isn't it? That feeling of nervousness, like you don't have the words. It's almost universal when learning a language.
So true.
But like that opening quote shows, it's just the starting line for something pretty amazing.
Okay, so let's break down that very first step. Just starting the conversation. It can feel like the biggest hurdle, right?
Oh, absolutely. The blank slate.
So our first key strategy here is getting comfortable asking open-ended questions.
Right. Questions that need more than just a yes or a no.
Exactly. So instead of like, is the weather nice? Which could just end there.
Yep. Done.
Try something more like, what do you think of this weather we're having? Or how are you finding the weather lately? See how that invites more.
Yeah, it gives the other person something to actually say. It signals you're genuinely interested in their thoughts, not just checking a box.
And that leads perfectly into the second tip for getting started.
Yeah.
Really showing genuine interest.
This is huge. People can tell if you're just waiting for your turn to talk versus actually, listening.
Totally. When you show you're engaged, maybe you lean in slightly, make eye contact, nod, or even just say something simple like, oh, really? Or that sounds interesting. It makes the other person feel, heard.
Valued.
Yeah.
And much more likely to keep talking.
Right.
Because they feel you're actually connecting with what they're saying.
Exactly. Which kind of naturally flows into keeping the conversation going, maintaining that flow.
Right. And the first strategy there is active listening, which is more than just hearing.
Right. It's not passive.
No. It's really focusing, paying attention to the words, sure, but also the tone, the body language, showing you're processing it.
And how do you show that?
Well, nodding helps, like you said, maintaining that eye contact and using those little verbal cues.
Like,
Yeah, or, okay, I see, right. Those little sounds that signal, I'm with you.
Okay, that makes sense. And the second strategy for keeping it flowing.
Providing appropriate responses.
Right.
Responding in a way that actually connects to what was just said.
So not just launching into a totally different topic.
Ideally not. It shows you understood, you were listening, and you want to continue that particular thread. It doesn't have to be like a profound insight every time.
Just relevant.
Exactly. Relevant. Even a simple acknowledgement that links back is good. It keeps the conversational ball rolling.
It feels like these things build on each other, Ask a good, open question, listen actively, respond relevantly.
It creates momentum, doesn't it? Makes the whole thing feel less like hard work and more like a natural exchange.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Let's talk practical tools, common phrases, things you can just sort of plug into conversation.
Yeah, the building blocks, like greetings. You don't always have to say a formal hello.
Right, you could use hi, pretty standard.
Or even hey, though hey is a bit more informal. Yeah, maybe better with friends.
Good point. Hi is safer, maybe, more versatile.
In asking how someone is.
Oh.
Beyond how are you?
You could say how's it going? That feels a bit more relaxed.
Or even just what's up? Very casual, that one.
And notice the grammar there. How's it going? Uses that continuous tense. It's subtle, but it changes the feel slightly.
It does. And if someone tells you something interesting, don't just say, okay.
Right. Show some enthusiasm. Maybe, oh, wow, or that's really interesting. Or
really? Tell me more about that.
Yeah.
That invites them to continue.
And crucially, if you don't understand something, it's totally okay to say so.
Absolutely. Things like, sorry, could you repeat that? Or I didn't quite catch that. Perfectly normal.
Nobody expects perfection. These phrases are like conversational shortcuts. They keep things smooth.
They really do. Helps you navigate without needing complex sentences every single time.
Now, speaking of things not always going perfectly smoothly, let's share a quick funny story. It kind of highlights context and, well, pronunciation.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it.
Okay, so a friend of mine learning English was in London trying to order the classic fish and chips.
Ah, a staple.
But his pronunciation of fish, well, let's just say it sounded very close to a different, much less polite four-letter F word.
Oh, dear.
The server just looked completely bewildered, just like frozen. Took a few tries, pointing at the menu.
Oh, I could picture the confusion.
Eventually, they figured it out. But yeah, it's a funny reminder that while mistakes happen, sometimes pronunciation and context really, really matter.
Huh. That's a great story.
Which I guess leads us right into that big one, the fear of making mistakes.
Ah, yes. The mistake monster. So many learners worry, what if people laugh? Or what if I sound stupid?
Aw, that fear is so real, isn't it? Putting yourself out there, especially with language, feels very personal.
It does.
Oh.
But let's flip it around. Think about when someone learning your native language speaks to you,
Okay.
and maybe they make a little grammar mistake or mispronounce something. What's your first reaction?
Usually I'm just trying to understand what they mean. I'm not really focused on the mistake itself.
Exactly. And that's how most English speakers react too. People are generally pretty kind, pretty understanding. They appreciate that you're making the effort.
So the advice is, just breathe.
Take a deep breath, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe even smile. That can actually trick your brain into feeling a bit more confident
Okay.
and just start talking.
Yeah.
Honestly, every single time you do it, it gets a tiny bit easier.
And try to see those mistakes differently, not as failures.
Absolutely. They're not walls, they're signposts. They show you where you need to maybe focus a bit more. They are a totally natural, even necessary part of learning anything new.
Right. Okay. So listening, practicing alone, tackling the fear of mistakes. What else? You mentioned something about connecting words and sounds.
Yes, reading out loud, another really practical technique.
Reading aloud, how does that help with speaking?
Well, think of it as coordinating your brain, your eyes, and your mouth.
Okay. Like a workout.
Kind of. When you read English text out loud, you're actively linking that written word you see with the sound it makes when you say it.
Ah, I see. So it reinforces pronunciation.
Exactly. Pronunciation, fluency, even getting a better feel for the sort of rhythm and intonation of English. It's like building muscle. The more you do it.
The stronger it gets. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But what about those times when you just don't know the word? You're stuck.
That happens all the time to everyone. Even native speakers sometimes search for the right word.
That's true.
So don't be afraid to ask for help. Seriously. Asking, how do you say? Or what's the word for? Isn't weakness.
It's being an active learner.
Exactly. It's like asking for directions when you're lost. It's just efficient.
Okay. And tied into that, there's this other really big piece, isn't there? The internal part. Believing you can actually do it.
Oh, mindset is huge. Absolutely huge. It sounds a bit cliche maybe, but it's true.
How so?
Well, if you're constantly telling yourself, oh, I can't do this, my English is terrible, you're basically building a wall in front of yourself.
Right, a mental block.
Yeah. But if you can shift that thinking to something like, okay, I'm learning this, or I can figure this out, it takes time, but I can do it, you'd be amazed at the difference it makes. That positive self-talk is really powerful fuel.
Like climbing stairs, maybe? You don't just leap to the top floor.
Perfect analogy.
Yeah.
Take it one step at a time. Some steps might feel harder, but each one gets you closer. It's about that steady, consistent effort.
So consistency is key then. Little bits often.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Try setting really small, achievable goals every day. Like learn 2 new words.
Okay.
Or focus on pronouncing one sound you find tricky. Or just practice speaking for 5 minutes like we talked about. Small things add up incredibly quickly.
And recognizing those small wins too.
Oh, absolutely vital. Did you understand a bit more of that song today? Did you manage to ask for directions?
Did you use one of those new words?
Yes. Acknowledge that. Celebrate it. Even just internally, it keeps you going, keeps you motivated.
So how do we make English more, part of everyday life, not just a steady subject?
Great question. You actively try to weave it into your routines. In simple ways.
Like what?
Well, just look around you right now. Try describing something you see in English, even just in your head, or quietly to yourself.
Okay, like there's a blue cup on the table.
Exactly. Or narrate simple tasks you're doing. Okay, now I'm opening the fridge. I need to find the milk.
Thinking in English, basically.
Thinking in English, yeah. And like we said, having those little conversations with yourself, maybe acting out a scenario you might encounter. It all helps build comfort and confidence with speaking aloud.
And remembering, I guess, that you don't need a massive vocabulary to actually connect with people.
Oh, that is so, so important. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good, you know?
Right.
Language, really, it's about sharing things, thoughts, feelings, ideas. It's about connection, fundamentally.
So if you don't know the exact perfect word, don't just clam up.
No, use simpler words, use gestures. Your facial expressions say a lot too. People are generally trying to meet you halfway.
Okay. Speaking of getting meaning across, or maybe not getting it across, any funny mix-ups? Language mishaps?
Oh, definitely. We all have them. I remember once trying to order food, and I wanted to ask for something baked, B-A-K-E-D,
Okay.
but my pronunciation was a bit off, and it kept sounding like naked, N-A-K-E-D.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I was very enthusiastically asking for naked potatoes.
Hmm.
The waiter looked utterly bewildered for a moment.
I can imagine.
We figured it out eventually, had a good laugh, but it shows how just a small sound
Can
difference.
change everything. Yeah, those things happen. And they make good stories later.
They really do. And actually, talking about interacting, finding people to practice with is another big step.
Right. Practice partners.
Yeah, whether they're other learners at a similar level or maybe native speakers if you have the chance, it gives you that real-world application.
Makes it less theoretical.
Exactly. And it can be fun. You can learn together, help each other out.
But that idea of talking to a native speaker, that can still feel pretty nerve-wracking for some people.
Oh, absolutely understandable. That fear of judgment again, or not being understood.
Mhm.
But honestly, most native speakers are really pleased you're trying. They appreciate the effort. And if they offer a correction, try to see it as helpful feedback, not criticism.
Like getting a pointer on your tennis swing or something.
Exactly. It's meant to help you improve.
Okay. But what about when you just feel stuck? Like you're practicing, but you're not getting any better? That plateau feeling.
Ugh, the plateau. Yeah, that's a completely normal part of learning anything, not just language.
Really? Normal.
Totally normal. Think of it like climbing a long, gentle hill. Sometimes you feel like you're making loads of progress. Other times it feels really slow, almost like you're standing still.
But you're actually still moving forward, just maybe slower.
Exactly. Even when it feels slow, you're still moving forward. The crucial thing is just to keep going. Don't let the feeling of being stuck actually make you stop. Persevere.
And confidence, does that just magically appear one day?
Wouldn't that be nice? No, confidence doesn't come first. Confidence comes from doing the thing.
Ah, okay. So you don't wait to feel confident before you speak.
No, you speak, maybe feeling a bit uncertain, and that builds the confidence over time. The more you try, the more you put yourself out there, the more that self-belief grows. People respond to the effort, the energy.
Okay, so try, and the confidence follows.
Yeah.
Got it. And what about just living with English more? Immersion.
Yes. Immersion is fantastic. Surround yourself with it as much as you reasonably can.
Like change your phone language.
That's a great simple start. Listen to English music, watch movies or shows, maybe with subtitles at first, then without. Read things you enjoy in English, blogs, news, books.
Find online communities.
Absolutely. Anything that increases your exposure in different ways. And don't stress about understanding every single word right away. Your brain is amazing. It'll start picking up patterns.
And make it fun, right? You mentioned that earlier.
Yes. So important. If it feels like a total chore, you're less likely to stick with it. Find ways you enjoy interacting with English. Games, songs, talking about hobbies, whatever works for you. Find the fun. Stay consistent.
Because ultimately, this isn't just about grammar rules and vocabulary lists.
Not at all. Learning to speak English, it's like opening a door, isn't it?
A door too.
To the world. Connecting with more people, different cultures, new experiences, job opportunities, information. It's a bridge.
That's a great way to think about it. A bridge to connect.
So when things feel tough, remember why you started learning in the first place. What's your vision? What connections do you want to make? Hold on to that.
Let that be your motivation.
Okay.
Okay, so to wrap things up and get people started right away, maybe a little challenge.
Ooh, I like a challenge. Okay, here it is. Sometime today or maybe tomorrow, try to consciously use at least 3 new phrases in English.
3 new phrases. They don't have to be complicated.
Not at all. Could be something simple for starting a chat, like how's it going, or what have you been up to?
Or maybe something to show you're listening, like, that sounds interesting, or tell me more.
Exactly. Or even just a useful phrase like, could you say that again, please? If you don't understand, just pick 3 and make a point of actually using them with yourself or with someone else.
Great challenge. So the big takeaway really is learning to talk in English, feeling confident doing it.
Yeah.
It's totally doable.
Absolutely. It takes practice, yes. It takes being okay with making mistakes. And it takes that belief in yourself.
Be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself through the whole process. Celebrate those small steps forward.
Exactly right. Keep practicing, keep trying, and you will see progress. You really will.
If you like the content, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us to keep going.